Hi ladies, Jackie Sabrin here, your love coach, and I am here to make a video about how to avoid a hookup when you really want a relationship. And before I get started, I just want to let you know that I have a YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll never miss one of my videos because I post them there as soon as I'm done recording them. So all you have to do is go to YouTube and put in Engaged at Any Age. That's the name of my YouTube channel. And then you'll see all the videos I've ever made. They'll be right there. And you can post comments if you want, or you can post them here on my Facebook page, of course. And so I'll post that in the comment box when we're done. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube, Engaged at Any Age. You never miss a video. All right, let's jump into our topic. How to avoid a hookup when you really want a relationship. And I wanted to talk about this topic because this is a really hard time of year for women because of the holidays, right? They pull on our heartstrings and we feel lonely if we're single and we really want to be with someone. And so it's easy to fall into the mindset of thinking or making some rationalizations, rationalize that, you know, it's okay to have a hookup because it's the holidays. Maybe I can have a little fling and I'll be fine in January just so that I can have some company. But here's the thing. Where I stand on this, my point of view is I don't recommend it. I feel very strongly that you should not do that. And also I want to talk about how to avoid the hookups because it's very common and you have to have very strong boundaries and be very clear on what you want. And so let's talk about why I don't recommend it. First of all the coaching that I do is to women who want to be in a committed relationship. I mean, I met my husband, Michael, on Match 5.5 years ago. We're in Deer Valley right now. I've never been happier in my whole life. And I had to get really clear on what I wanted. I had to not do any hookups. I had to stop any casual sex. I had to make some changes in my behavior to accommodate the experience that I wanted to have. And so I don't look at it as a sacrifice because I really wanted the experience that the change was going to make. So I was not having sex with anybody else for quite some time before I met Michael. I cleared out my life. I closed the doors to all the relationships that I had. What I mean is that I stopped interacting. I'm a very big believer in blocking men that you've ever dated on Facebook. It's not because they're bad guys, but I blocked everybody. I block anybody that I've ever dated as soon as I'm not seeing them anymore because I don't want them on my profile. I don't want to be tempted to post something when I'm feeling lonely. That's why I did that. So it's a boundary that I set for myself, and I really recommend you do that. And you might say, Jackie's so nice. He never did anything wrong. Why can't we just be friends? Well, I just explained why. It doesn't work. There's no such thing. You have to be very clear. When you say, I don't want to block him because he's really nice and I want him to be my friend, I think that there's a little belief that might be running that you believe that you're not going to meet anybody else. You're keeping that door open just a crack, just in case you don't meet anybody so that you can have somebody to fall back on. That's your plan B. And I say you have to close all the doors, block all the exits, commit fully to your path. And until you do that, you're always going to be susceptible to weak boundaries, right? To having men call you, reach out to you. I mean, men, they always come back, guarantee you. Don't your ex-boyfriends always come back and say, how are you doing? I've been thinking about you. I mean, I know that it's happened at least once to you in your lifetime that a man that you dated circled back around. They don't go far. And if you look at your life experience, all the men that you've met, which is probably not very many when you think about how many men there are in the world or that you've dated, even if it's 100, doesn't matter. They're kind of all still in the peripheral and they surface. And so you have to get really clear on your boundaries. Weak boundaries equals a weak self-esteem. You have to get clear on your boundaries. And I want to be really firm with you all on this because I want to be very clear on my point of view so that I can help you to get what you want, which is a relationship, which is to have a husband, which is to have an amazing life. The thing with being married is that I don't have to worry about who I'm going to be with, how I'm going to spend the rest of my life. That part of my process is complete. And you know what that does? That frees up so much time for me personally, for my business, to help you. I don't have to worry if who I'm going to be with. I don't have to think about dating. that took up so much time, right? So you all are spending so much time looking for your soulmate. And I think that's great. And I want you to be doing that. But you can't be making these mistakes with about hooking up with men and having any kind of casual sex. So you're going to take a really hard line on that, because if you say you want a relationship, that's a contradiction. You're saying one thing, but then you're doing another. So the universe hears nothing. It's a cancel is what you're doing. So remember, I always say thoughts, words, and deeds. You have to think, say, and do the same thing. So I know it's hard, especially when the guy's really hot and you're lonely, but you have to remember what you want. Check in with your why. Now remember this video. I'm here in our home in Deer Valley, sitting in front of the fireplace. We skied today. I have this amazing life that I wanted, that I created by design. You can have not this life, the life that you want. It's waiting for you, but you have to be committed. Until you commit to your path, how can you expect a man to commit to you? That's the interesting thing about commitment. You want a commitment, but you're really not committed to yourself. And so I want you to just really think about that. So there's a few things that can happen that you want to avoid, and they're easy mistakes to make, and I just want to give you a couple pointers. So it can easily happen, you can be out having wine, especially this time of year, there's parties to go to, and you'll drunk dial one of the guys you've been dating. You'll pick up the phone after a couple glasses of wine, and you're really not drunk, you're just tipsy, and you'll fall into this dangerous trap. Then you'll be calling a guy, and next thing you know, he thinks you're calling him for a hookup. And you set yourself up for either going over to his place later because you are feeling lonely and there's other couples at the party and you're really triggered, or he's not going to call you again because you just ruined that connection by assuming that he's interested in sleeping with you. Guess what, ladies? Not all men want to have casual sex. Men are looking for a relationship as well. They're not going to just sleep with anybody. They have values also, and that's what you're looking for, a man that has values. So just because you call him up and you want sex, don't be surprised if you get turned down. You have to be prepared for that. So be careful about having your phone in your back pocket, or thinking about calling a guy. Turn your phone off when you go to a party and keep it in your purse. And so another thing is looking for love. Expecting to meet a soulmate when you're out, like at a club. There's no way you can tell what their intention is. I mean, that's a wrong place to really think that you're going to meet somebody. I mean, it's possible, but I wouldn't plan on that. There's so many other great places to go to meet men. And so you can't tell their whole backstory, right? If you're out at a club or if you're at a party and there's music, you're really just there. It's casual. The whole thing is casual. So be careful with those parties, New Year's Eve, all of that. Go to bed early, get up really early, and celebrate that you made it through the New Year's Eve without sabotaging yourself. And just remember, you are looking for your future husband, not your casual hookup, okay? And so this is how you're going to avoid this hookup. And another tip and pointer I want to give you is, if a guy says that he's not interested in a relationship, I would take his word for it. If he says that, I mean, if a man tells you that, he's serious. Take his word. Second date. Here's the thing where I stand with that. You need time to develop an emotional connection with the man. A man doesn't connect with you over sex, okay? It doesn't bond with you. What you want to do is inspire an emotional connection with the man, not a physical connection with the man. That's easy to do. All of you can do that. So it's going to take time to develop that emotional connection. Once you've developed that emotional connection, he's invested emotionally, he's more likely to commit to you. 80% more likely, 90%. So that's going to take time, right? You're going to have to allow the relationship to unfold, and believe me, it's worth it. So I put 30 days on it. Don't sleep with a man before 30 days, because during that 30 days, you get to see who he is by his consistency, by how he's caring for you, and by how, if he's committing to you, asking you to be exclusive, not wanting to be on another app. If he's still on a dating app and he's dating you, he's not interested in a commitment at all. And so that's another thing. Another way that you can tell is that during this time that you're vetting him, you're getting to know him, you're getting to know the real him, and he's vetting you also. And so you need to take your time to see who he is by his actions, and you as well, because you're going to go through a series of letting your guard down, showing him your authentic side, and a lot of things can come up in that process. And it's hard to have those serious conversations that lead to a commitment when you've already had sex with the man, because you tend to avoid that kind of emotional intimacy because you're afraid now that he'll reject you. So you've got to put all the questions up front. You have to make your values, your needs and wants known right up front, and let him know where you stand, how you feel, what you want out of your life. And if he doesn't want the same thing, it's better that you find out now before you end up sleeping with them. And then you have to go through this whole emotional, physical, spiritual detox, which takes another 30 days at least. So at least 30 days. It's worth the wait. I promise you it is. And so pay attention to the signs also. I mean, if you start dating a guy and he tells you that he is interested in having a relationship, but he's doing things to demonstrate that are in contradiction with what he's saying. And for example, he's not calling you back right away, but he's saying, I'm really into you, I want to just see you, but he's not really getting back to you right away. He's going on trips, he's not keeping in touch with you, he's not introducing you to his family, even though he's telling you he wants a relationship. His actions and his words aren't in alignment. So you need to pay attention to those red flags. And it's hard to see the flags after you've slept with the man, because then you've got this emotional block, right? You put the blinders on and you only see what you want to see at that point, because you have this physical chemistry and it feels really good and you want more of that. So wait to have sex until you know for sure that the relationship is worth taking to the next level. Again, that the risk you have to take by taking it to the next level, but you do have to spend an ample amount of time with the man. And it's so worth it. Like I said, it's so worth it. I took my time getting to know Michael, and he did as well. He respected my boundaries, and that just made me desire him even more. Actually, I was more interested in him when he respected my boundaries. And so mutual respect and understanding is so important in a relationship. If a man refuses to call you his girlfriend, then you're not. So if he's not referring to you as his girlfriend, then you're not his girlfriend. If he doesn't ask you to be exclusive, then don't assume you are. And I just want you to stay strong. Stay strong in the knowledge that you are worth it, right? Because I know that you've probably had some bad dating experiences and you don't feel that, you're going to find Mr. Right. It's so real easy to fall into that trap. Like I said earlier, rationalize that I'll just make an exception, or maybe he's going to come around. You've got to stay strong in the knowledge that you're worth it, that you deserve it, that you deserve to have everything you want. And it has to come from you. You're the one who has to set the bar on what's important for you. And a man will respect you according to what you set the standard. And if you don't set that standard, then he's going to follow your lead. You really are in control of how that unfolds by having healthy boundaries, knowing what you want, being really clear on that. And just remember what an amazing woman you really are, and get through these holidays without, having to go through this emotional detox in January, because it's just not worth it. No, it's just not worth it. You can self-nurture, self-care, and I think you know what I'm talking about. Take care of yourself, all of your needs physically. If you have a need physically, take care of it, right? That's your need. And it doesn't need to involve another person. And the last thing I want to leave you with, it's just a really big elephant in the room, is STDs. I mean, you don't want to get an STD at this stage in life. And even if you have one, then you have to talk to your potential partner about that. So you still have to cross that bridge, and you have to develop a lot of trust to have those delicate conversations. So don't just fly blindly and forget about, if I just use a condom, everything's going to be okay. Not necessarily true. There's so many new strains of bacteria and all this stuff, and I don't have any medical background, but I am smart enough to know. I read, I hear, I watch what's going on, and casual sex has become really popular again. And I know it's because of the dating apps, so you just have to look at the signs. I mean, there's some things on dating apps that you can tell right away. For example, on a dating app, if he doesn't have a profile and he hasn't written anything down, next. the guy doesn't take a time to at least write a few things down, he's only looking for a hookup. If he says that he wants some new friends, casual sex, next. If he wants to explore the city, next. You're not a tour guide, you're looking for a husband. That's a casual relationship, not a commitment. If he says, I just moved to town and I'm in town for a week, that's obviously a hookup, right? Don't go out with men on their apps if they're not wearing a shirt. Oh, yuck. That is so disgusting. Even if he has a great body, it's like, don't men know that's a huge turnoff? I was reading that 80% of women are turned off by that because it's just not pretty. So, it's like a man lowering he's saying my value is in my body, and that's why we don't do it. So don't wear really sexy clothes on your dating profile. Definitely wear, I would go look at my YouTube, and I have how to create a beautiful profile picture of the clothes that I recommend. Be classy and be sassy, ladies. And that's going to get you the man that you want and deserve. Classy and sassy. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and I just want to wish you all a very, very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm going to do a live broadcast next week, but I know I won't talk to you until then. And so I'm just sending you a ton of love right now, and I'm thinking about you, and I'm holding space for all of you right now. I'm holding space, and what that means that I'm praying and meditating. I'm holding the belief that everyone that I work with, that I talk to, that I'm coaching, and that is in my community will find love if you follow my coaching. But guess what? If you don't do what I say, I can't guarantee you results. Okay, so follow the coaching. I promise you it works. I'm proof. Been married twice. Both times I got married, engaged in under 7 months. I've had a good run in my first marriage. It didn't work out, but I would consider it a success. We have 2 beautiful children. And now I'm married again, and I have a wonderful husband. And he is amazing. I know you've heard Michael talk. And in fact, when we're up here, somebody asked me if he knew Sting or said that he looked like Sting. Isn't that funny? He gets all kinds of he looks like Richard Gere. So I kind of feel like I'm married to a movie star. He's so gorgeous. And so that's what you can have too, if that's what you want. Anyway, so just believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. Do not make any of those choices that I've talked about hookup, because then you're just going to have to clean a bunch of messes up in January. And like I said, if you don't follow the coaching, it's not going to work. Okay, I'm just sending you a lot of love, holding space for you for a happy holiday and an amazing new year. 2018 is going to be so amazing. And I have amazing training for you on January 4th. I'm going to be sending you emails out about that. And we're just going to start off with a big bang, and we're going to get you going, get you excited, and give you the tools that you need to make it happen for you next year. All right. Thank you for being here, Tanya and Terry. So nice to see you, and Sandy and Michelle. Michael. Hi, Michael. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I have to add a little humor to everything I do, because sometimes dating can be really serious and it's rough. So we have to add some levity to it, right? So anyway, okay, bye-bye. Thanks for being here.